Coming up on OU Nightly, a dead animal found near the Oklahoma State campus, the ongoing investigation. Plus, a mysterious illness affecting dogs around the country. We speak to Oklahoma experts.
And it's cold outside right now. You're bundling up with that jacket, but going into next week, temperatures will begin to warm up. How much? I'll let you know coming up. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Victoria Anderson.
And I'm Noah Mack. We begin tonight. We know that Stillwater Police is launching a criminal investigation after a Longhorn carcass was found near the Oklahoma State campus.
This shadowing tomorrow's Big 12 Conference Championship against Texas. OU Nightly's Kaylee Fan joins us live now with the reaction up north. Kaylee.
A warning for viewers. The image we are about to show may be graphic. In an official statement, the OSU Farmhouse Fraternity says their chapter found the Longhorns' body on their property this morning. They say none of their members were involved in the incident. And OSU's president calling this a deeply disturbing act of animal cruelty and that it does not represent the university's values. The university says their Office of Student Support and Conduct is also investigating. If anyone has any information, you are asked to call the Stillwater Police Department tip line. Victoria, Noah, back to you.
Thank you, Kaylee. The Israel-Hamas war reignites after the week-long truce comes to an end. Spencer Tabb has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
Just minutes after the truce concluded today, Israel resumed combat operations in Gaza, firing airstrikes which hit houses and buildings. Gaza's Hamas-led health ministry says 178 people were killed so far. Israel and Hamas are actively discussing the release of more hostages, which could prompt another pause in fighting.
The chair announces to the House that in light of the expulsion of the gentleman from New York, Mr. Santos, the whole number of the House is now 434.
That historic vote makes George Santos the sixth lawmaker to ever be expelled from the House. Just 2 weeks before, the congressman said he would not seek re-election or resign following the release of the House Ethics Report. Shortly after the vote, a Capitol worker replaced the locks and removed Santos' nameplate at his Washington, D.C. office. Former Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor has died at 93 years old from complications with dementia. O'Connor became the first woman to serve on the nation's highest court after former President Ronald Reagan appointed her in 1981. O'Connor was a moderate conservative who upheld abortion rights and affirmative action. And a federal judge declares Montana's state law banning TikTok unconstitutional 1 month before it was set to take effect. Victoria, Noah.
Thank you, Spencer. Now to your campus weather authority. It was a chilly and gray day on campus.
Sure was. And OU Nightly meteorologist Peyton Gallion joins us now with the first look at your campus forecast. Peyton. That's right, guys. We didn't really see that sunshine quite at all. And if you look at these temperatures, areas in the blue, that's where that cloud coverage is and where it's colder. 41 in Norman, 40 in Oklahoma City. And compared to yesterday, we are extremely cooler. We're 12 degrees cooler than we were this time yesterday, but coming up, I'm going to talk about a shift in the weather patterns because, baby, it is cold outside. Coming up next week, we're going to be hot and cold, but all is calm and all is bright with the weird weather forecast next week. Thank you, Peyton. And as trans rights become a growing topic in the nation, Oklahoma teachers say they want to have discussions over how to handle these topics both in the classroom and at home. OU Nightly's Peyton Garrett has more.
Everything that's happening in schools is being questioned right now.
As anti-trans legislation is on the rise, many teachers across Oklahoma are having to relearn how to best cultivate a healthy and inclusive learning environment.
I think my biggest observation or concern on the teacher side is that we just have years of research and years of professional development that tell us that fostering relationship with students is the #1 thing that helps them succeed in schools. My desire as a teacher is to not have any barriers to fostering those relationships that we know help students perform better in school.
And schools accepting a student's chosen identity can be the difference between success and failure in the classroom.
Living in communities where families aren't as comfortable with gender exploration means that school is a place where students can try to define themselves in those terms in a way that might not be acceptable investigating at home.
For many teachers and parents, these changes can be hard to understand for their growing teenagers.
It's just a very different paradigm for many, many people, and change is really hard. We do care about every single kid in this building, and we don't want harm to come to any kid.
Counselors advise that creating these healthy relationships could make the difference in a child's life.
We don't want our kids to run away. We don't want them to end up on substances in order to alleviate the pain of being, quote, kicked out of the tribe. There's no greater pain.
Faculty also warn that as LGBTQ youth suicide rates reach an all-time high, that it is more important than ever to foster a culture that welcomes open dialogue. If you or someone you know is in need of help, call the Oklahoma Suicide and Crisis Hotline on your screen.
There's a mystery illness impacting dogs across the nation. How it could affect your furry friends when we return.
December 1st marks the first day of meteorological winter, but we might not be feeling like winter next week. I'm talking sunshine and 60s right after this. There's a mystery canine illness causing pain for pet owners nationwide. What we do know now is that this is a different situation than what shut down the Oklahoma City Animal Shelter 3 times this year. OU Nightly's Dakota Wapakichi is live. Dakota, should students and their furry friends be worried as they head home for break?
Yeah, holiday travel is coming up, and many dogs like Luna will be joining their owners like OU meteorologist Lauren Brand over the break. And however, this dog illness can impact their health, and veterinarians are saying that you should be cautious. 'Tis the season to travel, and many folks bringing their dogs with them. And just like people fear the flu or COVID spreading, this dog virus is making its way across the country, already seen in 14 states.
At places we were kind of staying home, and people probably weren't vaccinating their pets like they were supposed to.
Breeds like French bulldogs and others who genetically have flatter faces can have more problems if they get sick. The Oklahoma Humane Society says it's building a new clinic where the long-term goal is to provide more surgeries and vaccinations. They say that's the key, making vaccines like Bordetella as common as ones like rabies.
You just got to think about it. You just got to, is this something that is smart? You know, should my dog be going to the dog park if it's not fully vaccinated? Should my dog be socializing with other dogs if it maybe has that flat face?
USA Today reports that 14 states, including some where Sooner students are from, like California and Colorado, have cases of this mystery illness. However, it may not be as serious as some are making it out to be.
We may just be seeing dogs getting sick from a respiratory virus that is maybe a known respiratory virus origin, not swabbing them fast enough to get that. It's those really sick ones that are going from maybe a virus to a bacterial pneumonia type situation that are getting hospitalized and that are getting kind of people scared. And that's not every case.
Yeah, dog parks also aren't the only place that you should still steer clear to if you're worried. Dog groomers are one of those if the dog groomer has other dogs in that facility, and even some doggy daycare seeing if they require their dogs to be fully vaxxed. In Norman, Dakota Wapakichi, OU Nightly.
Thank you for that, Dakota. Now let's head over to meteorologist Peyton Gallion for a look at those dead week temperatures.
Peyton, what can students expect when heading out to the library this week?
Well, we saw Dakota outside. It is very dreary, and looking at the South Oval, it is still that case. And just like dog illnesses, it's almost flu season. 41 degrees, your immune system is having to get acclimated to these colder temperatures. But I want to point you to the feels like temperatures. We're feeling like we're barely above freezing in the 30s. So across the rest of the state as well, we're still in the 40s, and those feels like temperatures are relatively colder because of the cloud cover, because of the winds, and a matter of other elements. And we're going to be flipping gears because going into next week for Dead Week, we are going to be seeing above average temperatures. I'm talking about the 60s and the 50s across much of the Central Plains and Central U.S. So looking at these future temperatures, we can see we're going up and we're going down and we're going up and we're going down from the upper 50s and 60s to the lower 30s overnight. You can see on Tuesday afternoon, walk into that library, getting some study sessions in. 58 degrees, I'd take that for any December day. And looking at the bigger picture, we can see all the weather is pretty much around Oklahoma. We have a little bit of cloud coverage that we've seen in live shots. and on our sky cam in the South Oval. So looking at all this precipitation, we're going to be missing out on it. Nothing really big coming up for us the next few days. We can see the southeast is getting drenched with the storm system, and that's kind of setting up the El Nino we've been talking about, where the southern portions of the U.S. get all that precipitation, whereas the northern portions of the U.S. kind of miss out on that. So tonight, 35 degrees going outside in Oklahoma City and Norman. Going into tomorrow, those clouds are still going to hang around. Eastern Oklahoma might get some light showers, nothing to cancel your plans or anything like that. Staying clear here in the metro. Once again, those clouds come back in your forecast, and going out through the next few days, we're going to be warming up. 57, 61, 54, 62, and look at that, 64 on Wednesday. Once again, a very sunny start. And guys, December 1st is the first day of meteorological winter. How are we celebrating?
I'm excited. These temperatures are definitely getting me in the spirit, and as you can tell, I've got my green tie.
Oh, we're here with the red, so we're representing the other side of Christmas. I'm definitely excited because I got all my holiday shopping done, so now I can enjoy like the weather and the Christmas lights and everything. How are you celebrating?
Well, I'm getting ready to study for finals going into next week.
Not exactly celebrating, but we wish you the best on those finals.
Thank you.
Of course. Now, moving on, after last week's game, one viral tweet from Barstool Sports turned the spotlight on Sooner superfan J.P. Franklin. The tweet highlighting the Sooners' sweet game day outfit, but some of the comments turned sour regarding Franklin's smile. Local dentist and OU alum Brent Francis jumped at the chance to help out a fellow Sooner fan for free. Dr. Francis says he hopes that Franklin will be smiling again very soon. And Francis has been a season pass holder for 27 years. Isn't that amazing?
That is a dedicated fan.
Of course.
For sure.
And now coming up on OU Nightly, a Sooner football player shows his support for Oklahoma by making a special appearance.
And last night was one for the books. OU men's basketball. For OU men's basketball, our OU Nightly sports team breaks it down in Big Friday Sports.
Welcome to Big Friday Sports. I'm Emily Faith.
And I'm Kaylee Jo Hommel. The regular football season may be over, but Dylan Gabriel keeps throwing dimes. The OU quarterback took his talents to the Thunder game last night. He hyped up the crowd by launching signed footballs into the stands. Giving back is just one of the ways Gabriel shows his appreciation for OU fans.
I really love this place. I think when I needed it the most, it showed up, and that's people, that's Norman, that's I think Oklahoma as a whole. I think I just learned a bunch about myself and kind of grew into who I wanted to become, and I know it's a lot down the road for me. I just think little wins like that, I'll forever take with me.
Bowling season is right around the corner, and OU has new projections. ESPN has OU slotted for the Alamo Bowl, while Bleacher Report is giving fans hope for a New Year's Six game. Bowl game bids will be announced this Sunday.
Once an Oklahoma quarterback, now planning to take his talents to the pros. I was at SEC Media Days in Nashville in July, where I asked a former Sooner all about Oklahoma and the SEC. A familiar face to Sooner fans, Spencer Rattler knows how to win in the Big 12 and now in the SEC. This past season, he led the Gamecocks to an 8-5 record after throwing for 18 touchdowns. The biggest difference between the two conferences for him? Competing against the best of the best every weekend.
I mean, football is football at the end of the day, but this conference is definitely the physicality. You can tell the difference. You're playing the best players every single week. Like I said, this is the closest thing to the NFL, and this is why I wanted to come here to compete with the best and improve myself as a player, and just, it's been great.
The quarterback's journey to the SEC looked a little different than Oklahoma's.
Obviously, I knew Coach Beamer for some years now. He was with me at OU. I knew he was a great coach, great person. So that was number one. Another one was I wanted to play against the best competition, like I said, and prepare myself, obviously. And then I just wanted to I also transferred here with Austin Stogner, who was my teammate. That made it easier, and he ended up going back to OU. But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to be playing against the best and be with the best coaches. That's it.
Rattler even gave his own advice to OU quarterbacks as they move into the SEC.
Just be ready to play some of the best defenses every single week, prepare at a high level, and enjoy it.
Oklahoma joins South Carolina in the SEC starting in 2024. Reporting from SEC Media Days in Nashville, Tennessee, Kaylee Jo Hommel, OU Nightly.
Well, it was a long night for the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday against the Seattle Seahawks. Former OU wide receiver CeeDee Lamb caught a 15-yard touchdown pass to put the Cowboys up in the first quarter. It was back and forth until the Cowboys found a stop on defense to win the game 41-35. And the College Football Conference Championships start tonight with the highly anticipated Pac-12 rematch between Oregon and Washington. Tomorrow, Alabama and Georgia duke it out in the SEC, while Texas and Oklahoma meet for an orange-washed Big 12 championship.
And the future of football competes in the Oklahoma High School State Championships this weekend. Muskogee takes the 6A Division II title after sneaking past Stillwater today, 28-26. Jinx looks for revenge from the regular season tonight at 7 versus Bixby.
Speaking of high school football, it's time for Ballin' with Brig. Our own Brig Bates has the details on last night's 4A High School Football State Championship. Brig?
It's the final Ballin' with Brig of the year, and no Michael Jackson, but we are going out with a thriller. The Oklahoma High School State 4A Championship is here between the Blanchard Lions and the Wagner Bulldogs. First play of the game, 2025 OU commit Alexander Shield Knight makes the Lions feel his presence, but it wouldn't last long. Blanchard drives down, and here's Brayson Carter. He hits the Jets around the corner to cap off a 94-yard drive as the Lions go up 7-0 early. And the momentum shifts quickly for the Lions. They grab a pick, and it sets up another scoring opportunity. This time, Carson Cooksey cooks up that Dogs D and finds Corrick Pierce in the end zone, but they end up missing the extra point, and you might think Blanchard's going to run away with this game, but it was Sean Atkins on the kickoff whom was too fast for my camera as he takes the kickback. Play the fight song. Bulldogs cut the lead 13-7, but it was the top of the food chain. Lions QB Carson Cooksey once again as he takes the keeper to the end zone. But they go for two and they don't get it. 19-7, Blanchard leads. Small dog, big heart. Wagner fights back as Vanderbilt commit Whit Edwards takes the screen, crossing the plane to make this a ball game again. Bulldogs bark back now, down 19-14, and Wagner gets another chance. But look there, watch out, big man play alert. Jake Carter, go hit the buffet. You just won the Lions the state championship with the interception. Blanchard is your 4A Oklahoma High School state champions as they defeat the Wagner Bulldogs 19-14. Thank you for watching Ballin' with Brig all year. Until we meet again, Emily, Kaylee Jo.
Thanks, Brig. Coming up on Big Friday Sports, we'll switch over to the basketball court.
We'll take a look at a historical night for one Sooner squad. Stick around for more Oklahoma sports action after the break. Welcome back to Big Friday Sports. OU men's basketball sits in the top 25 for the first time under Porter Moser. OU Nightly's Kaylee Carnine has more on the Sooners staying hot and returning to the house.
The 25th ranked Sooners were back in Norman, but with a new look. The Sooners started things off strong in McCaslin Fieldhouse with Milos Uzan using this steal to set up an Otega Oweh dunk to put the first 2 points on the board. This Sooner transfer from Utah Valley is stealing balls and stealing Sooner fans' hearts. Latrey Darthard led the team with 2 steals and even racked up 14 additional points. And then look at this no-look pass from Rivaldo Soares back to Darthard for a deep 3 to extend the Sooner lead over the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. OU called the Golden Lions bluff, winning 107-86, the highest scoring game this season. And the high energy of the McCaslin crowd filled the field house and fueled the players.
It was just electric in there. It was really loud. And I can't remember a home game where I was having to do hand signals at home. And so I just really appreciate the students coming out like that, and it was everything I would envision. And we got to stack it now. That was my message to them. It's like, let's do this over at the LNC now.
I would say this is our identity, like it's our personality, playing high energy, intense. So it's something that we practice every day, just try and build on. So just being able to play in that atmosphere which matches our play style is kind of easy.
The last time the Sooners played in the Fieldhouse, it was over a decade ago, but they always do well here, so hopefully we see them back a little sooner. Reporting from McCaslin Fieldhouse, Kaylee Carnine, OU Nightly.
Well, also at last night's game, the record for student attendance at OU was broken. Over 3,100 students showed up, and our own Abby Williams has the details.
Sooner fans are on fire for Porter Moser's squad this season, and they showed out in record-breaking fashion for Thursday night's game against Arkansas Pine Bluff.
It's one of the sports that students can impact the most because they're right on top of you. And so just been working a couple of years to try to get this, to envision the students to having a ton of fun. I thought they had a ton of fun.
OU students were impressed with this year's men's basketball team and the thrilling environment inside McCaslin Fieldhouse.
I like how compact everything is and how loud everyone is, and the energy in here is unmatched. It's unbeatable.
Is this something you'd want to see again?
100%, without a doubt.
It's been so fun. I'm just it's really cool to see the whole student body here and rooting for the Sooners.
It's way more energy with the students in here. It's so much closer to the floor. It's a way different experience. It's not even close.
The players felt the crowd's intensity too and encouraged their fans to travel down to Lloyd Noble Center, where they can continue to have this effect on games.
I think the fans brought great energy, and I think to start the game off, we did the same thing. So atmosphere like that, you definitely want to play with high energy and play together and have fun.
While this team won't be filling the Fieldhouse again this season, they'll be back at Lloyd Noble on Tuesday to take on Providence. Reporting from McCaslin Fieldhouse, Abby Williams, OU Nightly.
And the Sooner swishes don't end there. OU women's basketball returns to the Lloyd Noble Center, hoping to shoot their way back into the AP poll. Oklahoma is coming off back-to-back losses against Princeton and Tennessee. The Sooners look to claw the Lady Tigers, facing Grambling State for the second time ever. Tonight tips off at 6 p.m.
The OKC Thunder sent the Lakers home with a shock last night. The Lakers started strong, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the young Thunder team seemed to wear out the elders of LA, LeBron and Anthony Davis. SGA scored 33 points and the Thunder won 133-110. After the game, Chet Holmgren shared his thoughts on his first time facing LA.
You prepare as much as possible so you're as ready as you can be from the tip, but you still have to adjust to the game flow and how it's going that night. And, that's my first time playing the Lakers, first time playing AD. So kind of just learning what they do as a team and how he guards as an individual.
Sticking with the pros, former Sooner Trae Young made Norman proud as the Hawks flew past the Spurs last night by only a basket. Young took charge defensively and offensively, adding a season-high 45 points in the Hawks' 137-135 win. The point guard in Atlanta handed San Antonio its 13th straight loss of the season.
Well, OU wrestling is on the road this weekend for a pair of ranked duels. The number 18 Sooners will go up against number 3 Missouri tonight at 7 p.m. Then it's a journey up north for a match against number 21 West Virginia on Sunday afternoon.
For one last time this semester, thanks for watching Big Friday Sports. I'm Kaylee Jo Hommel.
And I'm Emily Faith. Have a fun and football-filled weekend.